require that the Iraqi government get security up and running, make a commitment to do away with the Shiite militia. The government, the Maliki government in Iraq, is actually been encouraging Shiite militia. Mm-hmm. They need to make a commitment to stay away from corruption, stay away from militias, and try to have an honest effort to keep security in their own country. They need to reach an agreement over oil in the country. They need to bring the Sunnis into the government. We have spent, just in defense spending this year, 1 year, $1.2 trillion in defense between all the supplemental budgets that we're passing in the defense bill. It is going to bankrupt your generation. So what I want to do is make sure that we need to change course in Iraq. So providing benchmarks, providing dates where we reevaluate the situation. We cannot continue to go in the wrong direction, and that's what we've been doing, almost unchecked. You know, the Congress hasn't provided any oversight. One of the reasons why, in my view, the American people voted change in the last election is to go in a different direction. Now, specifically to get to your question, I'm not sure that I could compromise any more than I have in terms of this bill that passed. I would be surprised if there was a funding bill for Iraq that I could support at this point. But what the Speaker and the President are going to have to try to work out with the President of the Majority Leader in the Senate is a bill where Republicans and Democrats can vote for it. And if they open it up, if every Republican votes for it, all they'll need is 30 Democrats. My guess is they could get a spending bill without any strings attached relative to dates or benchmarks. So nobody knows what's going to happen. It's an interesting question. I was with Jack Murtha yesterday, or Thursday of this week, talking about this exact issue. Jack Murtha is the ex-Marine Vietnam veteran, two-time Purple Heart winner, who's been the most pro-military member of Congress, who came out a year and a half ago saying that we should redeploy our troops. I was talking to him, and he doesn't know how it's going to work out. My guess is, though, in the end, that it's probably going to be something that a majority of Republicans will vote for, and they can pick up maybe 50 Democrats. But my guess is if that happens, I probably wouldn't vote for it.
Well, one of the main points of contention that the Republicans had was language about a timetable or specific dates, and there was talk of compromise setting benchmarks. And as you said, do you think that Democrats would be willing to take out the language of timetable?
Some Democrats, the tough thing is going to be for the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, who has been a pretty consistent opponent of the war. Because Democrats are running the House and the Senate, they would essentially allow a vote for something that she probably wouldn't normally vote for. My guess is there are enough Democrats who could vote for it, but I'd say there's a group of probably 50 to 60 of us that probably wouldn't vote for it. For example, my second trip to Iraq, I came back and I wrote a white paper with an exit strategy for Iraq, and frankly, it looked a lot like the Iraq Study Group proposal that came out a year later, that basically said what we ought to be doing in Iraq is engaging other countries in the region. And the problem in Iraq, we're viewed as an occupying nation, an unpopular occupying nation, I might add. 62% of Iraqis think it's okay to shoot at Americans. There are 25 million people in the country. So the bottom line here is I think that there will be a compromise worked out. Not all the Democrats will be able to vote for it, but if the President is able to deliver the majority of the Republicans, they probably can come up with some wishy-washy language in the middle and then pass a bill.
Would it be effective?
Well, I think the problem with it is it doesn't really change the policy. And it seems to me that this President has dug his heels in. Doesn't matter what the American people think or what the polls say. He's just determined. Well, he's been pretty candid. He said that the next president will have to determine when we leave Iraq, and not me.
On that note, we're going to just take a short break.
Right.
You're watching Eye on You. We'll be right back with Congressman Meehan, our new Chancellor. What's cooking in Mill City?
What's cooking in Mill City?
You're watching Eye on You. We're here with Congressman Meehan, our new Chancellor at the University of Massachusetts Lowell. Thank you for coming back again after the show. Actually, I would like to ask you, kind of leaving Iraq behind, because I know that you're extremely knowledgeable and we're a little bit short on time, but I'd like to ask you about your vision as the new leader for the campus at the university.
Well, I've spent a lot of time talking to students, faculty, employees, the department chairs, the deans, the vice chancellors. I think there's a lot of talent at the campus. We don't have enough money to do the things that we need to do. When I started thinking about being chancellor, I got a call from the search firm that was hired, a nationally known search firm, Con Ferry, and they asked me if I wanted to come in and talk to the search committee, and I began thinking a lot about it and reading about it, and I on a Sunday took my wife up to the campus, and we rode around the North Campus, and she looked around, she said, "There's another campus, right?" And I said, yeah, it's the South Campus. We took her around the South Campus, and she said, "You got to tell me, when's the last time they built a new academic building?" And we had just been to her reunion at, she went to business school at the Darden School at University of Virginia, and they have a brand new business school. And at Darden, at UVA, they build new business schools, and then they give the law school their old business school. I mean, they've really been able to raise a lot of money. And I said, it's been almost 40 years. That's part of the challenge. But the institution means a lot to me. So I want to begin by trying to get better technology into classrooms. I think we need to. I think we need new academic buildings in both the North and the South Campus. I'm excited about the new nano manufacturing center. It's one of only 4 National Science Foundation centers in the country. Last Monday, I went in to see. I was in New York City, looking to. I was talking to graduates of the university, trying to figure out if I get someone to give some money for new buildings. But I went by to see President Bill Clinton, and he was asking me about the university and asked me why I decided to do it. But he was telling me that give me some ideas about how you could raise more money to build these buildings. I believe there's a direct tie-in to how the economy grows in this region, in this state, and whether our children and their children stay here as a region. So I believe it's fundamentally important. So I want to work as hard as I can to provide more connections between business and the university. Try to raise more money from foundations, from private individuals. Try to create an environment where state officials believe we need to make more of an investment in state money. We're 49th out of 50 states in state investment. So I believe we have a governor that's more committed to public higher education than any governor in my lifetime. And that goes back a long time, and Democrats and Republicans, I believe that Deval Patrick is committed. I would like to see the deans and the department chairs get better technology, both in the classroom, but also technology that they use in the administration of the university. I'd like to see us. One of the challenges is Division I hockey. I would like to see us save Division I hockey. Yeah. But I have to tell you, we need to. Number one, we need to go to the community and get more support. We need to be able to keep revenue that we raise from advertising. We need to get students and faculty and administrators to actually come to the games and make the arena an environment where people are excited to be there. So I think community life on campus